Ludicrous Feed is proudly sponsored by Carloop, data to empower Australia's EV revolution. All right, well, Riz, let's get into our show tonight. So we might start off with you actually sharing with what if anything you want to share about the Mobility Live, expo this today in Melbourne.
Yeah, Tom, it was quite interesting. I got a chance to host their media and VIP day, so we went around and spoke to quite a few brands there. There were up to 14 car brands. That was quite impressive. Um, Zeekr were there. They had the X and the 009. And geez, the massage seats in the back of the 009 were next level. I did pop in between running around. Everyone knows on this channel, I've got my runners on. Did pop in for a quick massage. Had my feet up before I think I was pushed out by others that wanted to experience the same thing. So, um, anyway, but that was quite cool to see. But they also had w- a whole new brand, GAC, that
Right.
I have not heard of before,
Okay.
uh, showcasing the Aion V, I think it is. And they are destined for the Australian market by mid 2025, they say. They had two cars on display. Um, right-hand drive. I got a chance to sit in one of them. Yep, that's the one. That orange, looking sort of a smallish SUV.
Mm.
Um, Apparently, the driver's seat or the front passenger seats can lay flat, so it turns into a bit of a glamping sort of a bed. So that was interesting to see. It has all the latest tech in there. The big screen that we're used to, and a binnacle as well. So that was interesting to see them because obviously none of us have seen those. So they bought two cars in to showcase there. Um, our LDV had a surprise,
Mm.
fully electric Ute, 102 kilowatt hour battery pack. I think it's called the LDV eTranos 9. I'm trying to, yeah, I couldn't even spell the name.
Okay.
Uh, LDVE, whatever it is, 9. It's a big four door, four-wheel drive electric ute with a 102 kilowatt hour battery. That's it.
eTerron 9 Ute. Interesting.
Yeah.
Right.
And apparently this has just landed this week. And they drove it in. And I was at the show yesterday setting up and didn't see it, but this morning it was there when I got there. So they had a bit of a unveiling of this ute, and yeah, it's there. I got a chance to sit in it and pretty comfortable. But this was not the only ute. They had the Shark
Mm-hmm.
6, which you did a video on the configurator in the last 24 hours because the pricing has been dropped. And they also had the Great Wall Motors GWM had a plug-in hybrid um, electric ute. Looks pretty tough as well. That they've just bought it. It was still in left-hand drive into this show with 110 kilometers of range and 3.5 ton towing capacity. The Canon
Mm.
Alpha plug-in hybrid. But anyway, I was more surprised. Like out of all the utes, this was the one that I was most surprised by. Fast charging, whole lot. I think they said something like 10 to 80% of this 102 kilowatt hours battery pack in about 40 or 45 minutes.
Mm.
So yeah, big step up from the ute that we're used to, the ET60.
Yeah, correct. It looks yeah a bit more futuristic as well. I guess a bit more sharp and angular. Looks more like the F-150, I think, more than the Ford Ranger. Whereas the Shark looks very much like the Ford Ranger. And good to see this is all electric as well, 102 kilowatt hour, beefy battery pack. Yeah, I mean, assuming assume efficiency of say, I don't know, 20, 18 to 20 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers. So maybe range of what 400, I'd say maybe 4 to 500. Not even that.
Yeah. I mean, we're pretty lucky because this was unveiled only a couple of weeks or 2, 3 months ago at a show in Europe.
Mm.
Made a surprise visit there at the transport show, at IAA. So yeah, we're pretty lucky to get it fairly soon.
Yeah, so Oscream is saying showed it in
Oh,
Germany
that's
a
good.
couple of weeks ago using BYD blade batteries, so that's good. Yeah, I guess price will be everything. As we know, the ET60 was priced a little bit high um, compared to obviously the plug-ins like BYD Shark 6 is more like 50, but you are dealing with an all-electric vehicle, so that is the benefit, I guess, of having an eTerron 9 and the ET60 on the market. So yeah, that's great, Riz. And how did it look on the inside? Did it feel pretty plush?
Yeah, pretty good. I'll try and share some photos. Sorry, everyone, I haven't had a chance to do that today, but yeah, like Bonza delayed me a bit, so I'll have it for our next live stream. But yeah, it was pretty plushy. Um, I think, like most things coming out of China at the moment, infotainments are pretty well sorted, and um, yeah, it was nice. It was spacious, but I guess we don't know what it's like to drive until we get it onto our roads, which, as they're saying, early 2025. So we expect that, I guess, in maybe Q1, uh, early Q2, the latest.
Hmm. Yeah, it's saying early 2025, so that's oops, sorry. It's yeah, that's good sign. And as Aaron says, looks like a Ute that you can't. I mean, Utes are Utes, right? Or pickup trucks, right? It's like one or two cabs and then the tray in the back. I mean, how different can they really be? I suppose like an SUV, how different can they really look after a while? This one, yeah, as Mitch says, it's brutalist architecture on wheels. It's very angular. Take it. You can take two stances, right? You can make it more round. You can make it more square or straight. So there you go. Take your pick. But yeah, and yeah, Oscar was saying looks better than the Kia Tasman ICE vehicle. So yeah,
Hmm.
I want to see more battery electric options for sure. The plug-in hybrid, versions of these cars or these Utes are certainly flourishing at the moment. We've got the Shark 6, Ford Ranger plug-in coming as well. So yep, good to see. And
Oh,
thanks.
actually, I did see the Ford Ranger today. They did have that. Can't remember what they called it anymore. It was some special name for their plug-in hybrid, but they had like tools in the back. They had like a drop saw, all of
Hmm.
that stuff connected that they were showcasing at the Ford stand. Ford also actually showcased their e-Custom Transit because this is more of a trade and a fleet type of show. They had a lot of those vehicles. So Ford had their e-Transit Custom, which is a smaller version of the e-Transit. So it's good to see that they appear to be serious about electrifying at least fleets.
Hmm.
So yeah, we'll hopefully businesses and fleets do start to buy them. But yeah, that range of I think it was 45 kilometers of range compared to what I guess GWM is potentially offering up to 110 kilometers with their
Hmm.
plug-in hybrid Ute, and then hopefully the LDV thing is over 350, 400 kilometers, and we'll need to get you into one, Tom, early next year.
I'm very happy to try them out. And just as a public service announcement, if you own a plug-in, whatever car you see line 6, you just charge it every night, and then you'll see the benefits. Right? There's no point running it as a hybrid. You're losing the plot there. So just charge it, and you'll see the efficiency of that thing improve a lot. So, yeah, hot tip for you guys. Cool. All right. Let's move on to some charging news. So thanks, Nira, for this article. So some Motors Club forum members have discovered planning permits for some more superchargers in New South Wales. Now, I believe this might be a typo. I think this is actually Kulak in New South Wales, which is near Gundagai, and a large 20 bay supercharger site in Goulburn. So those 2 points are actually quite important charging sites in New South Wales. You generally will stop in those two towns. So it's good to see expansion of chargers in New South Wales. Hopefully open to all vehicles as well, Riz.
Hmm.
Yeah. And if Xpeng or anyone else, Deepal, if you're watching, this might be a good time to test out your cars to make sure they are built for Aussie conditions for those long road trips between cities. So stay tuned. Thank you, Charles, confirming it is indeed Kulak, New South Wales, New Gundagai, not Colac, which is near the Great Ocean Road. I think Colac. That's already got chargers there.
Hmm.
I think I've actually used them too. Okay, and we've been following this one. This is the 6-stall V4 superchargers near the old Alexandria showroom, Tesla showroom, which is now the body repair shop, and looks like they are almost complete. Lines are marked. Probably due to be commissioned pretty soon, I would think. And that's a nice site there near the airport for you, Riz, to charge your Spectre when you come up and visit me in Sydney.
That's it.
Yes. Oh, okay. Justin saying Cybertruck at Pacific Fair Shopping Centre, 4th to the 10th of November. Pacific Fair is the big one in Broadbeach, I think, isn't it? In
Yeah,
the
that's
Gold
the one on
Coast.
the Gold Coast. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. SWS saw on Queensland News tonight an electric seaplane operating. Hey, fantastic. That's good. Very nice. Staying on the theme of Tesla superchargers, here we go. New full stall Tesla superchargers at Port Augusta, South Australia. It's good. Looks like South Australia is getting a lot of DC fast chargers, which is great, and that's thanks to the RAA network as well. So good to see more superchargers. This might also be a what do you call these, prefab quick install ones? Either sitting on the grey slab, or am I mistaken?
Yeah, I'm not sure about that one actually.
Hmm.
Could possibly be.
Yeah, but Port Augusta being an important stop, in South Australia, good to see more chargers there too. Oh, thanks, Richard. There you go. This is why I love this show. Richard saying
Hey.
Alexandria is already open in Sydney. So there you go. Good intel there, guys. Thanks so much. You are our eyes and ears. So appreciate that. Oh, Charles is saying yes, it's a prefab. Thanks, Charles. Great to have your knowledge there. Awesome. So we've been following the story, the story about BYD retrofitting, pre-March 2024 BYD seals, and also hopefully potentially Atto 3 vehicles to be able to charge on V3, V4 Tesla superchargers. Now, this is an email to it's like an Atto 3 owner. It says, thank you for your email and welcome to BYD Automotive. At this stage, the upgrade is only available for the BYD seal with Atto 3 testing still be conducted. Keyword being testing. Once a solution for the Atto 3 becomes available, BYD Automotive will contact vehicle owners with an update. Riz, I think this might be progress here. So this is different from other emails we've seen.
Yeah, well, hopefully there's a timeline for this testing, because there's about 12,000 owners that need to know. So, yeah, bit of progress here.
Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, as always, excuse me, on the show we will keep you guys updated with progress on that front. We haven't forgotten you guys, Atto 3 owners. Now, speaking of Atto 3, so this made news this week. So on Cars Guide, this headline saying not recommended. Popular BYD Atto 3 Chinese electric SUV receives worst rating yet by Safety Testing Authority for poor performing driver assistance technology. This was written 28th of October, so 2 days ago. And look, Riz, I got to say, I own a seal myself, so I've got some credibility to mention this. Yeah, the BYD intelligent cruise control is probably close to the bottom in terms of how well it performs on the road, in my opinion. It's a system I'm not confident in, particularly with the auto steer component. It's just too much false feedback. It's trying to always get you into the center, yes, but it's very sharp. It's not smooth. So I'm not surprised that this article has come out and come to light. Riz, what's been your experience? You've driven some of these BYD vehicles. Have you tried the auto steer and the ICCs in your tests?
I have, and I mean, yeah, it's not my favorite feature in those cars for sure. It's one of those things. I mean, Tesla cops so much on the back of the fact that their autopilot system is got phantom braking and a whole lot of other things. But these other vehicles, they take it to another level of basically not providing much confidence when it comes to that. The the autonomous capabilities of the vehicle, and there's experienced people, I guess, like yourself, and I guess to a certain degree me and others that drive a lot of different vehicles, and they know that you have to sort of be a bit careful at certain times. But if you can imagine someone getting one of these vehicles and thinking, well, the car is able to take me around corners and it should be able to do that, and they may not have as much experience with different systems to know that it may not operate in the way they want it to operate at, and having hands on the wheels and other things, then it could cause big issues. at the
Mm.
same time as well. So yeah, a bit disappointing on this front, but you'd like to think company as large as BYD with over 900,000 people working on various different parts of the company that they will be working at improving this, and they take this as critical feedback to
Mm.
improve on the product. Um, because I know previously BYD's also said that they don't believe autonomous driving is the future, or they're not investing that heavily into it. They're investing in affordable EVs, which is also great to do, but I think it comes a time where they really do need to focus on getting their intelligent driving systems a bit more up to spec with competition. Otherwise, people will choose a vehicle that can do all that.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, this is still level 2 autonomy, of course, and there are so many other companies that do it better. Obviously Tesla Autopilot, the eGMP platform vehicles do it quite well. I've driven many miles with those cars. Even like Volvo, Polestar, they do it pretty well too. And what concerns me is that I've driven the C Line 7 in China. That's on the new Evo platform, but from viewers who've commented on my videos, it seems like the export market will receive still the 3 platform with the previous ICC. So I don't think there's going to be much improvement even with the SL7. I've driven the C Line 6. It's the same thing. It's the same terrible ICC. So it's just not good. I think it's going to be surpassed by cars like Xpeng, Zeekr, Deepal. If they can perform better, even with level 2 autonomy, which is pretty much all you need really. If you still want to drive the car, you just want it to guide you on the highway just smoothly. I think that's all we need for now. And if they can't get this right, it's a real concern, I think. So, yeah, hopefully BYD will do something to help correct this.
Hmm.
I've heard that the new Evo platform is in collaboration with Huawei with their self-drive. Am I mistaken there?
Tom,
Uh,
I think you're right. I mean, that's part of what they've said, but I've also heard other vehicles. I think it's in the BYD lineup that might be using something from DJI as well.
mm,
Um, so yeah, interesting times. I mean, Huawei, from the news that I've read, seems to have some of the best autonomous driving technology in China as a
mm,
supplier of those technologies into manufacturers. So yeah, look, it can only get better from here, I guess.
I hope so. The final thing I want to touch on is this chart from Gary. Gary's on the chat tonight, I can see. And he just wanted to share some of the survey responses from the Kia EV Owners Club of Australia, Kavoka. Here's a question: how many kilometers have you done? 165 responses, and most people are within that 10 to 30,000 kilometer bracket, and the next biggest is less than 10,000. Do you mostly do city, highway, or country driving? And most people do city driving, which, as you'd expect, or highway country, and 1/3 is split between both. In your normal week, how often do you charge your car? And most people say once or twice a week. I'm the same. I charge between once or twice a week with my big 82 kilowatt hour battery with my BYD Seal. Have you used high speed public chargers? Most people have. And how likely is it that your next car will be an electric vehicle? Overwhelming. Interesting. Um, Trying to work out this chart here. So, okay, so on a scale of 1 to 10, right? So this is a quantitative scale, or qualitative scale, I should say. Most people will say 10 out of 10. I would definitely, 71% of you said I would definitely buy an EV as my next car. So that's good. That's great to see. One person didn't want to buy another EV down the bottom here. It's a shame to find out why. But good to see it sort of skewed towards the top end of that scale. So thank you, Gary, for sharing that with us. Much appreciated from the Kia EV Owners Club of Australia, a newish club which has links directly to the Kia maintenance and service team and management as well in Australia. So a good one to join if you own a Kia EV. And Gary says 25% of members have never used a public DC charger, just charge at home or
Hmm.
office. Almost all will buy an EV next time, different to what some dodgy surveys say. Yeah, that's
Hmm.
true. These are real EV owners too.